We're live. We were live while I was playing with the light. Anyway, hi everybody. How you doing? So we came live here on YouTube today to make sure that you guys know that you should not be waiting on the fence to buy a home. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do a video. My ear's sticking out like Dumbo. I don't know what it's doing. I'm just waiting for you guys to join me because nobody's joining me yet. I know it's dinner time because I was eating dinner, but I promised everybody on Instagram that I would come on and talk about you shouldn't be waiting on the fence. If you're a seller, I really don't know what the sellers are waiting for. I believe that they're waiting because they don't want to sell their property and then go ahead and have to buy another property at a higher interest rate. And a lot of sellers don't understand that they can take their tax base with them. If they're over 55 years old, hi there, how you doing? So if you're over 55 years old and you're trying to downsize on your house, and let's say that you bought your house for, let's say $300,000. You bought your house for $300,000 20 years ago, and now it's worth $800,000. And your tax base is based on $300,000 plus the little bit that it had gone up because of the protection of Proposition 13. So now your tax base, you're paying, let's call it $4,500 a year. And if you sell your house and you move to some other place and you buy something for $800,000 or $900,000, now you're thinking you're going to have an $800,000 or $900,000 tax base. You're not, because if you're over 55, you can take your tax base with you. So it used to be that you had to buy a home for the same or less than the house that you sold. However, the new law that passed said you can buy a house for any amount of money in any part of California. So this is a California law, okay? And if you buy it for more than what you sold your house for, then they're gonna take how much you sold it for. You're gonna take that tax base, and let's say that you bought a house that was $100,000 more. Then what they're gonna do is they're gonna prorate that amount, and your taxes are not gonna be based on what you buy the house for. So a lot of the older people or the baby boomers like me are not selling our homes because they don't know they can take their tax base with them, okay? The other thing, I don't know what's going to happen with the interest rates, but what CAR, I think an NAR, I'm not sure which one it was trying to talk to the banks about letting, hi Denise, how you doing? Hi Denise. So I'm going to do a video on the numbers of how much it costs you to move and how much people waiting on the fence is going to cost them if they try to move later. So I'm going to do a whole numbers video. I was going to do it tonight, but it's getting kind of late. I will upload it on YouTube so you guys can watch it. But you have to educate the sellers on why they should move or why they should downsize or what they're looking for in retirement, because prices are going to go up. So if they sell right now, prices go up next year, they're going to go, oh, I shouldn't have sold this year. Yes, Denise, I am doing good. Got to do some follow-up. I got to find out who I have to follow up with. So Denise knows I had a little bit of it was a stress-related, they're called TIAs. So it's like a mini stroke. So it was scary, but we're good now. I don't look great yet, but I'll look great in a few weeks. Anyway, so I'm going to do the numbers for you guys, share with everybody that they're going to be there, and I'm going to take it. And if you want me to do numbers from somewhere where you live, put it in my chat and tell me, hey, I live in an area that's this much. How can I get my sellers, what's it going to cost my sellers to sell their home? So let me tell you how the numbers work. If you're working with a seller, and a seller is over 55 years old, and if they're over 55 and they want to downsize, they can sell their home, okay, take their tax base with them, and their tax base will be, wait, guys, if you're going to take she's telling you guys about the real estate exam. She took our real estate exam, and I think she's doing really good with her scores. But anyway, you can go ahead and move and take your tax base with you. The other thing is the capital gains. You need to be able to tell your seller, or as a seller, if you're a seller, you need to know how much you're going to have to pay in capital gains, because that's going to affect how much you're really going to net out of the sale of your property. So gross is from what you bought it for, you sold it for this, you gross that out. But in between, there's all kinds of expenses that you get to write off. So you can write off all the costs that you put into your home. So sellers need to be educated so that they're more, interested in downsizing or making a move. And the other thing, that it was either NAR or CAR, because I've been going to all these meetings, and when I go to these meetings, I'm able to share with you all the things that are happening. So what they're trying to do, and I think they're kind of thinking backwards. I'll show you what I think. So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, if buyers won't buy because the interest rates are low, if buyers won't buy because interest rates are high, then what we should do is let the banks allow the buyers to assume the seller's nice low interest rate. Well, the whole reason we have lack of inventory, so I don't agree with that. They're saying let the sellers, let the new buyers assume their nice low interest rate and take their tax base with them. And now they have to go get a high interest rate loan. So I actually spoke up and I said, I disagree with your idea. A better idea is, look at the banks pre-approved me. They gave me an interest rate at, let's say, 2.5. My loan is $500,000 at 2.5, and I want to buy an $800,000 house. So how about the bank appraises the property I want to buy and lets me take my 2.5% loan with me? Because I'm guaranteeing you, if you tell a seller that they can take their loan with them and they don't have to take, and they can take their tax base with them, and they don't have to pay that huge capital gain, because now you told them about the capital gain tax, how it works. You get, of course my dog's gonna bark right when I'm really on it. Wilfred, come here, right now. Come here, come here. He's gonna come by me and then he won't bark. So if you, on the capital gains, if you're a married couple, you get, in California, you get to take the first $500,000 capital gains free. So if you sell your house, if you bought it for $300,000 and you're selling it for $800,000 and you have a $500,000 capital gain, you probably won't have a $500,000 capital gain because you have acquisition costs, you have sales costs, and you have any home improvements you've done to the house. So those are all your adjusted cost basis. So after you figure out how much you owe in capital gain, if you're married, you get the first $500,000 tax free. If you're single, you only get the first $250,000 tax free. And if you're single and you're thinking, I better get married before I sell my house, they have to have their name on title with you for 2 years. So if there's 2 people, they have to be on title for 2 years living in the house. I mean, it can be 2 of the last 5 years. So if you can avoid capital gains and you can take your tax base with you, and if the banks figure out, if they get a brain in their head and they figure out, oh, we already approved this person for this much, they have this interest rate, let's just move it to the new collateral. Change the collateral, then houses would be available because sellers would want to buy. And buyers, maybe they'll get a higher interest rate, but at least when the rates go down, remember, you marry the house, you date the rate. That's what everybody says. And that way you can get everybody moving forward. The reason you want people to move forward is buyers have to understand, you're not going to get your favorite property first. You can try to get your favorite property first, but I was in escrow for my favorite property first, and I didn't get that property. I got a piece of crap condo. I always say piece of crap condo. I'm going to take you guys over there one day and we're going to do a tour of my properties, and we'll go see my worst one and we'll go see my best one. And my worst one, it wasn't that good, you guys, but I bought it. It went up in value. I took equity out. I bought another one, rented that one out. That's called pyramiding. You just keep doing that. And that's how you buy real estate. So we are going to have some type of investment class, but we are also going to be doing, next year I'll be doing a boot camp for people to help them with their real estate career. But I wanted to get on and let you guys know, oh, you want to see the properties? Well, aren't you close by, Denise? Where are you, Denise? Where are you located? Because I thought you were pretty close. So anyway, you know, people that are looking to buy real estate, you really got to jump in there now and quit being so scared on the fence, because being on the fence isn't going to get you anywhere. And you really need to show your clients Downey. I have a property in Downey you can go to see that one. Wait, I think the Downey one's worse than the Fullerton one. I'm not really quite sure. I will do an investment class. I'll get it together for you guys and show you how to do it, because the problem with investing is most people go, I want to buy a 4-plex, I want to buy a 3-plex, and you have to understand it's not just what you want to buy. You have to understand what kind of loans are available for what you want to get and how much money do you have. So Laura, I'll give you a real quick investment class. How about that? A really good start. Have you already bought a house? Because if you have not already bought a house, you need to start with the one that you want to be your investment. So the reason you do that is, what you do is, the reason I said I bought the smallest, crappiest one first is because I bought the smallest, crappiest one, and then I bought my next one and I rented this one out. Okay, and so this one had an owner-occupied low interest rate with a low down payment. because when you buy investment property, it's 20 to 25% down, and you have to qualify unless you're going to get a loan that qualifies you on the amount of rent that's coming in. Now, those are higher interest rates. Now, some investment loans will be a lower interest rate, mainly because of your down payment and your credit score. But there are some loans that you don't have to personally qualify. You have to have a decent credit score, but then if your rent is, let's say the rent that's coming in on the property is $3,800, then your house payment has to be $3,700. And if the house payment is lower than the actual rent that's coming in, then that qualifies the property if you have 20 to 25% down. The other thing is people always want to buy duplexes and triplexes, and okay, duplexes are wonderful, triplexes are good, but once you get to 4 units, the qualifying for the loan is a lot harder. So you have to go ahead and talk about the type of qualifying you need and then start looking for the property. And like I said, you always want to buy the rental property first. The big mistake that most people make is they buy their favorite property that they want to live in. They buy this really nice house. Okay, so let me think. This was condo house. This was my 3rd property. So this is the 3rd property I bought. The pool is brand new. It'll be 2 years old in November. I had a pool. We pulled it out when we were flipping houses, and that was a whole fiasco. So this was my 3rd property, and then I went on to buy more, and I got up to 12. What I did then was I figured out how much money do I really need when I don't want to work anymore, and how much money can I have coming in from passive income, which is rental income. And that's when I decided that I'd get rid of some of my property, and now I'm down to 6. So if you're down to a certain amount of property, but you know how much is coming in and going out, you can survive off of it, then you can retire, or you could do whatever you want. You could travel. That's what I want to do. I took my dogs, my 2 dogs, I have 2 of them, took my 2 dogs and my mom, and we escaped to Desert Hot Springs for a couple days, and then we came back, and we were able to do that because I didn't have to worry about anything. So anyway, Laura, if you have any questions all about investing, just go ahead and put them on my comment page, and I will answer them, and we can touch base, and we can start you up and see where you are and what you need to do to get started, because you really want to get started. If you already have a house, it makes it harder for you to say, oh, I'm going to buy this little studio condo as a rental property. Well, now that studio condo, if it's a condo, it's going to be a higher interest rate. If it's an investment property, it's going to be a higher interest rate. And then they're going to not only be a higher interest rate, but you're going to need more down payment. But if you buy a studio condo first, try not to buy a condo, buy a PUD. Because then PUDs don't have PUD approval, and PUDs do not have that add-on for condos. And a lot of PUDs are like condos, but they're not condos. And because they're not condos, you don't get hit for the interest rate. So I hope that helps you with some information. And I don't know where you're at, Laura, but we can do Zoom meetings if you're too far away and help you get some wealth going and some building on your real estate. So I just wanted to come on and let people know that if you want to be an investor or if you want to be a real estate agent, you need to get your license in your state. So far, we've had people in Texas and Detroit, Michigan, pass with our class for California. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the differences in the national exam and the state exam, and I am going to be doing some classes that are for the national exam. And maybe what I'll do is, if they're similar enough, I'm in Northern California, I'm studying for your real estate license. Okay, so I love Northern California. Oh my God. I helped some people sell it was so great. I took their listing. They were going through a divorce. I'm really good at helping people through divorce. And I helped them through their divorce. We sold their property. It was a short sale. And I listed it at midnight on a Friday night, sold it by 3 a.m. That was crazy. The guy calls me. He's like, I figured if you put it on the internet at 12 o'clock midnight that you might have too many calls by tomorrow morning at 10. So I figured I'd call you tonight or this morning at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. And we put the deal together, and he bought it. He transformed that property, made it awesome. My seller, the wife, went on to build an ADU, and she put the ADU in her kid's backyard. And that's a whole nother debacle story from hell. But anyway, her original bid for just the permits in Auburn was over $50,000. And I said, look, the California Association of Realtors, they're backing ADU, and they're looking for ADUs to help with our housing crisis. So there is no way they can charge you 50 grand. I go, you call Sacramento and talk to the guy in charge of ADU approval. She got it down to $9,000, and she got her ADU built. So there's so many things you could do. You just have to go for it. And she was in Auburn. I did a place in San Rafael, and San Leandro. So I know about going up to Northern California. I'm not scared to jump in my car and drive. But you could take our cram course on, and we do it on Zoom. So Laura, the cram course, make sure if you do the cram course, you don't sign up with real estate trainers. I'm no longer with real estate trainers. Their classes are phenomenally expensive because guess what? People from YouTube and TikTok think I'm over there and they're willing to pay that crazy fee. They're paying $314. $314 gets you their class and their CompuTrainer and their vocabulary that's 100 years old. Now their vocabulary is, you can, if you want to see it, you can see it, but my vocabulary is a 2.5 hour video. So, or 2 hour and 10-minute video. So my company is called California, because we're California Real Estate Trainers. And the next company that we're having, I think Arlene and I talked about either US Real Estate Trainers or America's Real Estate Trainers. We're looking at that. And then we're adding another real estate company. So we're doing a lot of stuff. We're moving and shaking. And as soon as Arlene and I save up enough money, we're going to do a flip. We're going to do a flip with company money. We're going to do it as a class. So we're going to do a condo flip class and everybody can see what we're doing. So that'll be super fun. So our class tomorrow, it's Laura. I don't know, do you have your test date yet? So what people do is they wait till their test date and they take the cram course the weekend before. What we highly suggest, since we have 16 hours of material that I am tutoring, I would say, yeah, if you don't have your test date yet, you can take our class and you can, then you'll have our materials and you'll have notes and you'll be able to study that until you get your test date. And then you can come back and take our class again at no extra charge. So our students are allowed to take our class as many times as they need to pass the state exam. Now there are classes out there that are like $50, $100, but they have no idea what they're talking about. They don't have state exam questions. I come from a class where I can say this, everybody knows he does it. My boss at my old real estate school literally took the test. I think he was at 58 when I left. He took the test 58 times, seeing what's on the exam. When I left him, what I started doing is talking to my students and seeing if, if my material was spot on. A lot of them say my material is spot on because I teach you everything, but you've got to learn it all. You're literally learning 3 45-hour classes in 2 weekends of 16 hours. So that's why I always say, take our class maybe this weekend or next weekend, and then again right before you take your state exam, because that's going to really help you. So anyway, I wanted to make sure you guys all knew I have the class coming up tomorrow. I wanted to talk to you about a video is gonna come up. It's gonna be a filmed video. I'm gonna upload it. It's gonna be one of those. And it's gonna talk about, these are the numbers. If your buyer is buying and they're gonna spend $850,000, here's their loan amount. Here's how much they're gonna pay for the house if they buy it now. Here's how much they're probably going to pay for it if they wait on the fence. So if you have buyers that are talking about buying and you have a number, like you go, God, I have buyers that think they're going to buy around $550 and they're going to put down, they're going to go FHA and put down 3.5%, or they're going to go first time home buyer and do 3%. Let me know what the parameters are. Put them in my comments, like me, comment. And what I'll do is I'll do the numbers for you in the video. And I will also do them inside the chat and show you, this is how you get a buyer to get off the fence. This is how you get a seller to get going and start moving our economy. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you guys and make sure you learn all that you need to know to be a great real estate agent and an investor. If you have any questions at all, put them in my comments. I have done, believe it or not, I was an investor first, and I was a loan officer for 20 years before I got my real estate broker's license. And that was in 2006. I flipped houses for 3 years. I worked at the cemetery selling lots. If you can do it in real estate, I have done it. So if you have any real estate questions, feel free to contact me. Have a great Friday evening. I'm going to go eat dinner, and I hope you are too.